drum journeys. It's been very interesting for me. Very interesting. I'm so glad I embarked on this. Decided to try this. You'll hear the sounds of life around. There's no studio to separate us at all. So sometimes you'll hear airplanes. Now you're hearing the siren probably of an ambulance or a police car. There's construction going on site. So you'll hear saws and chains. And the movement of the wind on the blinds and the curtains. And the background hum of the fans, the overhead fans. And it's all perfect. There was a me at one time that believed I had to control all of these elements of sound in order to deliver good quality, and if I couldn't do that, then I couldn't promise that, then I wasn't going to do it. And so for years that was my story. Waiting for perfection, waiting for the right sound studio, waiting for the right home environment, waiting for the right outside environment. And life has just shown me in this moment what a big teachable moment that's been for me, to just surrender to completing this promise of showing up at 3 p.m. Eastern time, or is this even 3 p.m. Eastern time? Because I think there was a chime change, so maybe I'm actually doing it at 3 p.m. Central time. I missed the meeting today because of that. So I need to check that. I think maybe I'm doing this at 2 o'clock. 3 p.m. Central would be 4 o'clock Eastern time. I am so confused. Hi, hello. I need to check and see what time it is Eastern time. Seriously. Because we don't change our time. So here in the Caribbean, we don't change our time. So then it becomes that our time becomes, sometimes it's Eastern time and sometimes it's Central time. But anyway. Yeah, I've been waiting for the perfect studio with the perfect microphone and perfect equipment before I start to do these drum journeys and offer these drum journeys. And what my own teaching has been in showing up for these is not waiting for the perfect moment, and also accepting that if the airplane takes off right when I'm doing the song, then it's perfect. If you hear the sound of the saw going right when the sound is also going, then that's also perfect. If you hear an ambulance siren going by, that's also perfect, all at that same time. It's what a wonderful teaching that's been for me. And imagine how so many of us wait for the perfect situation to happen before we can move forward. So unwilling to just let it start off being imperfect. This is just how it is right now. I have the impulse, I have the desire to do this thing. My intuition is in line to do this thing. And then I have this little voice over here going, oh, this isn't perfect, this one isn't right yet, and this isn't right now. And how, when we start to lean more into that, we start to lean more into this illusion of there's a perfect time. maybe it's just about showing up and starting, and that in your trust in just starting the journey, the next step will be shown to you to be done. But until you start the journey, the next step can't be shown to you. You know? And what I have discovered is that when we are not being authentic to ourselves on who we are and what is calling us forward in life, that we ignore those voices that say, you know what? Maybe it's time to try something else. And we think those voices are bigger than us. And each time we surrender to that voice and believing that that voice is bigger than us, that voice gets stronger. What? It gets louder. And there you are, having to deal with the self-sabotage. Your brain has this, our brains have this sabotage mechanism in it, especially for those humans who have experienced trauma. And there isn't a human on this planet today that I will say has not experienced trauma in one form or another. You know? Could be immigration trauma, it could be racism trauma, it could be cultural trauma, it could be language trauma, it could be feeling dispossessed from your land, your country. All of that is extremely traumatic. Violence is traumatic. Violence of words, violence of thoughts. People sending emails threatening others to death because they speak of climate change. They speak of love for the planet and nature. They speak of the unsustainability of capitalism, and they get hate and death threats for speaking truth. Right? So this is the time to lean in and lean forward, to trusting yourself, that everything that you have, that have brought you here to this moment, exactly had to happen the way it did for you to end up in this moment. If anything had been changed, whether small or big, it would have been a different moment. Do you trust that you are here in this moment because you were supposed to be here in this moment? Can you trust that? Because it's the only moment that actually exists is right fucking now. It's the only one that exists right now. That past is a story. Oh, it's a story. Can we move towards telling the story in a way that is empowering? Can we forgive ourselves for not being who we would wanted to have been at that moment or here? Like that it's even possible. And I laugh because I've done that. How many hours and days and weeks and months and years did I spend regretting that I wasn't stronger, that I didn't speak up, that I didn't fight harder, that I didn't put myself in the foster care system, that I didn't emancipate myself as a child, that I wasn't more vocal, that I didn't yell harder, that I didn't scream, that I didn't run away, all those things that I had wanted to do. Can I trust that all of that happened right now? Because it was supposed to be, because right now is where I'm supposed to be delivered with all of this experience. All of this experience to speak from. We all have so many experiences to speak from. We've all suffered loss. We've all grieved. We've all lost. We've all pined and wanted and desired and hoped for and crossed our fingers. We've all done that. Doesn't matter the language that we speak, the color of our skin, where we are located on the globe. None of that matters. Because we've all done that. We have all, at some point in our lives, bore unspeakable pain. Physical, mental, emotional, psychic, psychological. And I grieve for all of us who don't live in that, who don't realize that, whose pain has driven them to separate themselves from their hearts. So much so to despise others, to want ill for others, to want harm for others. I am so sorry that that happened to you. Because something happened to you.
Hey, yo, 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 hey. Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey. Hey, yo, hey, yo,
Thank you. Thank you. And now for some sounds. Whoever is still here, thank you for joining. Hmm. 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 Thank you. Thank you for being with me on day 36 of 100 Days of Drum Journeys. Hello. Hello to everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Oh. Thank you very much for being here.